What's up, fam, and welcome back to another tech video. And man, this one has just been in my brain pretty much all last week and this week, and you know what? I just had to make a video about it. So I'm sure all of you know Cyberpunk 2077 just released last week, and the reviews about it, well, I hate to say it, but they've been mixed, unfortunately, with a lot of people, especially the last-gen console players, saying that the game is buggy, has too many crashes, and just looks downright awful. And you know what? Here's the thing. I've been playing the game. I've been enjoying it. You guys have probably seen my streams if you're here, and you'll probably know that I've talked a lot about how I absolutely love the game. But you know what? I'm starting to get in the mindset that I feel a little bit entitled because I have hardware on my PC that, yes, it definitely can run this game at a very, very respectable frame rate, and I'm enjoying the game thoroughly. But not all of you have the same hardware that I do to be able to enjoy this game like I've been doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put myself in the mindset of some of you out there that maybe have the just minimum specs or even the recommended specs, and we're going to go ahead and test out today if that is even possible to get a respectable frame rate in this game. But right after a word from today's sponsor, Chirp. I've been working out and playing sports pretty much my whole life. And now something I didn't know a lot about in the beginning though was how important recovery is to your overall performance day in and day out. If you're spending hours in the gym, putting that work in, or like me spending hours playing hockey, you need to help your body recover from that activity. Here's where the Chirp Wheel comes in. So what is the Chirp Wheel? The Chirp Wheel Plus is a back roller that stretches the muscles around your spine to relieve upper back pain, lower back pain, neck pain, and hip pain. It is shaped like a wheel so it can fit between your shoulder blades and massage deeply into the muscles around your spine, giving you a unique 4-way stretch. It comes in a set of 3 different sizes, 12-inch, 10-inch, and 6-inch to help you target different muscles and different pressure levels so you can achieve the perfect stretch for your body. Now, the Chirp Wheel Kit is not just limited to fitness recovery either, as I actually really enjoy using the small 6-inch wheel and using it as a posture corrector while sitting at my desk. Now, I spend a ton of time sitting here making YouTube videos for all of you guys out there, and this thing ensures that I stop slouching and it helps relieve the tension in my back at the same time. So if you're ready to roll out some of that tension, go ahead and check out my link in the description and use the promo code CHIRP10 to purchase your own Chirp Wheel Kit and receive 10% off. Start relieving that back pain today. Trust me, your body will thank you later. Okay, to start this right off, I'm going to just come out and say it. I love this game. I've already streamed for over 13 hours of this game, and it's going to keep going up because I honestly just can't put it down. Now, that being said, I keep hearing a lot of people out there in the visuals fam, you guys out there, you're still either on the fence about it or you just don't know if you want to get the game because you don't know how it's going to run, and maybe your hardware just simply can't, run it, and you guys can't get past all the bad reviews you're seeing. Well, I'm here to help you guys because today we're going to go ahead and test the performance of this game using CDPR Red's own recommended settings right off of their website. Now, why did I choose the recommended settings and not the minimum settings? Well, the minimum requirements pretty much for any game are quite literally the bare minimum hardware you need to just run the game and start it, and most likely not even get 30 FPS. Maybe you'll even get lower than that. So in my opinion, this is never a great play experience for anyone, so I figure if we go up a little bit to the recommended specs, we may have a shot at actually getting a solid at 30 FPS, and at the very least, maybe get a little bit higher than that towards the 60 FPS range. So what does CD Projekt Red recommend you use to run this game? From their own system requirements chart, they suggest that you have at least an Intel Core i7 4790 or an AMD Ryzen 3 3200G, 12 gigabytes of onboard RAM, and either a GTX 1060, GTX 1660 Super, or an RX 590 for the GPU with at least 6 gigabytes of VRAM. Well, it turns out I actually have a system in here that has the exact specs we need. So let's take a look at our test system. Surprise, it's the trusty old Dell Optiplex 3020 that I've used in countless videos on my channel. Man, I knew I kept that thing around for a reason. Now, the only difference with our test system we're gonna be using today and the actual recommended specs is the CPU. So I have a i7 4770 on hand here in the Optiplex system. And of course, like I said, the recommended CPU is actually a 4790. But if you take a look at this comparison chart between the two, there should really be just a marginal difference in performance between the two. So hopefully this still validates my test for you guys. And now here's a full rundown of our test system. So starting with the CPU, we got ourselves an i7 i7 4770. And then for RAM, we got 12 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM at 1600 megahertz. For the GPU, we got our GTX 1060 6 gig. We got our 365 watt Dell power supply, and everything else is just stock Dell Optiplex 3020 hardware. And yes, before you ask, we'll have the game installed on an SSD as well to rule out any performance issues from an old spinning drive. So let's go ahead and head over to my desk, power on the test system, and see how it does. All right, you guys, so we're at my desk setup here, and if you guys watch my streams ever, you guys will be used to this view right here. But one difference, we have my camera back here that is going to be giving us a nice view of my monitor. The reason I'm doing that is because I do not want to use something like Shadow Play or OBS or whatever that is going to hurt my CPU performance, GPU performance, whatever, because we're going to need every little bit of FPS we can here to actually get this game to work at the recommended settings. Trust me. So basically what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm on my other computer. I'm going to switch over to this other one and the Optiplex system, and then we're going to start the game up, and we're going to see if we can actually play it. So let's do that real quick. Okay, so here we are on the other system, and I have already loaded up Cyberpunk so we can save ourselves some time there. And then just so you guys do know, I already put the latest drivers as well. So the new Cyberpunk drivers that just came out, they are installed. So we're going to rule that out as anything that could be wrong with it. And then we also do have I have MSI Afterburner on right here. The graphics card, the GTX 1060 6 gig, is not overclocked or anything like that. We're going to leave it stock. Just trying to do it based on their recommendations. That's all it is, okay? So let me go ahead and let's click play and see if this game will work. So the recommended settings based on their own website is 1080p high. 1080p high settings. That's it. Okay, so their own recommended settings. Let me go to video here. So we're at 1920 by 1080. Let me go to full screen here. And apply that. There we go. So we're now at full screen. So that's why our FPS just shot up there. Okay, VSync is off. Yep. Okay. Graphics. Let me make sure we go to the presets. We're going to be going with the high preset and testing their own things here. Obviously, we can't use ray tracing or DLSS because we don't have an RTX card. So that's really going to be the determining factor for me is because we can't use DLSS like we do with my RTX card, is this really going to hurt us that bad? So anyway, high settings, exactly what they asked for at 1080p. There we go. All right, let's try to load into the game here. I'm just going to continue my own game and we'll load from there. Let's go. Okay, so we're starting in the diner here. Let's go ahead and move around. So you can see we are barely hitting 30 FPS here. GPU usage is peaked at 99%, obviously. Temperatures are looking good. Our CPU's at 61 degrees C, GPU's 60 degrees C, so that's good. It looks like our CPU and our GPU are very, very maxed out here. Memory usage, we're using a lot of that too, about 6 gigabytes of it almost. So let's go ahead and keep moving here. We're going to move through this area. This is a very densely populated area. So let's see. Yep, we're dropping to 25, 24, 26, 25. I mean, you guys, you could totally play at this, but yeah, I don't know. You can play, but it's not going to be an extremely smooth experience here. So okay, let's do this again. Let me go turn rack around and go through here. So what I'm going to do, let's make this our combat benchmark real quick. So our combat benchmark, let's start. See these guys right here? We're going to fight them. Let's go ahead and escape, save the game right here. So we can repeat this. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's pull out our weapon here. And let's fight these guys here. All right. So we're just going to honestly run right up to them. And we're going to fight all these guys. Here we go. All right, FPS, is it dropping while we're fighting? 25, 24, 23, oh yeah. Yep, 22, oh, we are dropping, you guys. We are really dropping here. So while you're fighting, I mean, wow, yeah, it's playable, you guys, it is. It's just not super smooth, it's clunky, it's very clunky. And see, when there's a lot, it just dropped down to 20. So this is gonna be a huge problem. Yep. So we basically dropped all the way down to 20 FPS there.
That's going to be a big problem, guys. So let's see if we can go out to the menu and see if we can maybe pick up a few more FPS to make this a little more playable. Okay, guys, so here we are. We're back in the menu here. Obviously, at high settings, it's not... I wouldn't call it playable. Yes, you can hit 30 at some points, but... Oh, man, it's not... Yeah, it's not playable. So let's see if we can, so honestly, there's no magic button for this because we don't have a ray tracing enabled, or not ray tracing enabled, but yeah, RTX enabled graphics card. With those graphics cards, even my own, you can literally turn on DLSS and it gains you easily like 10 to 15 FPS every time. And that would make this playable right now. But we're gonna have to do something else here. So they suggest high. I would not suggest doing that, okay? But we have it at 1080p, like I said, full screen. Let's go ahead and set our graphics settings maybe. Let's just go to low and let's see what happens. And texture qualities, let's put those on low too. Let's just go ahead and do that and see what kind of FPS we're working with. Let's do that. All right, everything's on low. There we go. Okay, you guys, I am already seeing a substantial improvement here. Obviously, the game is looking way more chunky and clunky here, but you can already tell how much more smooth it is. Let's see, 40, 50, we just hit 50 FPS, okay. And keep in mind, you guys, these are very densely populated areas. I'm doing this as a stress test, okay? This is why I'm doing this area. So here we go. Let's go ahead and walk through like we did last time. Lots of people, 39, 37, 36, 35, 36, okay. We're staying around 36 FPS average here. Walking through this. Oh, okay. Okay, now we're back up to the 40s again. A lot of people on screen, you guys. A lot of assets here. Looking up at all this stuff here. A lot of stuff. Yep. I mean, 40 FPS. We gained about 10, 12 FPS by going down to low, you guys. Let's hop in the diner here. This kind of taxed it a bit last time. Yep. See, it went down to 35. The reflections there really hurt the FPS. Okay. Just such a detailed game, you guys. So there we go. Okay, let's go back out. All right. Ooh, we just hit 30. So I have not seen it go below 30 though. Almost did. Almost did. Almost did. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So in this area particularly, you guys, it looks like we will, if you set it at those settings, you will not go below 30. Okay, now let's do our combat test real quick. All right, here we go. We started here like last time. Let's go ahead and pull out our weapon. Do the exact same thing. We're going to sneak up to this guy. We're going to take out the first guy. And we're going to start shooting. All right, that guy's down. And we're going to start shooting. All right, crime reported. Let's let the cops come and see if we can drop below 30 FPS with a lot of action on the screen. Nope, nope. I'm still seeing 30. Still seeing 30. 38. Okay. 30, 35, 34, 33. Nope, we're still... Oh, it just dropped below it. So during combat, look, we're hitting 25, 20. It's the animations on the screen. Yeah, that's really hurting the FPS here. Oh my, wow, we are dropping really low. There's a lot of stuff happening with the cops here, so you guys, we're dropping way low. So yeah, in combat, you guys, this is not an area where you want to see your FPS drop like this. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Woo. Okay, so yeah, we can easily drop below 30. We went to 20 there. And when you get this animation on the screen when you're actually low on health, it even hurts your FPS more, which kind of sucks. Because that's the time when you actually need to gain... Oh, there's a lot of cops. Okay, here we go. All right, and that's over.
All right, so what do we take away from this test today? We can definitely see that although the game can run CD Projekt Red's recommended settings, do I personally recommend this to you guys? Absolutely not. Only if you have this hardware already and it's what you have to work with at the moment would I suggest you do this. I 100% would not build a PC right now to play the game at recommended settings. No. So my suggestion for you guys out here that may have this hardware is to tweak your settings to maximize your FPS like we did in this video. I know, self-explanatory, and maybe even go a few steps further to see what affects the frame rate the most in this game and maybe lower those down a little bit too. Honestly guys, what I guess I'm really saying here is that, well, I guess you now finally have a reason to build a new PC or upgrade your current one. I know it's a terrible time for it, but yeah, because you saw it here, to run this game even at 60 FPS and have a clean play experience, you're gonna need a lot more horsepower than the recommended specs, even just at 1080p. So I hope this gave you all something to think about, and hopefully this gave you a bit of info on just how demanding this game really is and what it requires to run smoothly. And if it helped you at all, please be sure to give the video a like. It helps out the channel a ton. Now, I know CD Projekt Red has received a ton of backlash from the console community, and I understand it, but as you can see from my own testing here, this game struggles to play smooth at their own recommended PC settings, let alone anything on a last-gen console with outdated hardware. So I don't even know why they released the game on them. But again, that's just my opinion, and I want to hear your guys' opinions. So go ahead and comment down below what you're running this game with and what FPS you guys are currently getting, and if you think it's actually a viable place experience, and if you're, actually having a good time or not. And as always, if you enjoy videos like this one and would like to see more, be sure to get subscribed with those notifications on so you won't miss out on my future uploads or streams. Take care, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Later.